Oh, hello. Welcome to the studio. Miles here with the band EMEFE. Glad you're joining us today. Come on in, won't you? Today, we have an episode of EMEFE.ptx, a video podcast series where we open up our Pro Tools sessions and talk about our process. This episode is about our song Leftover. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to EMEFE.ptx Leftover episode. We got Jake Pinto. We got Doug Burns.
Good day.
And we got Miles Francis.
Woo. Oh, I love that. MTV's Unplugged.
Oh yeah. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well. Kind of schwitzy, but well.
You were schwitzy on one of our last episodes.
It's a common theme in EMEFE.ptx, EMEFE.ptx, that I'm always schwitzing.
This song, Leftover, the genesis was August 2021. It was, of all things, an Instagram reel that I posted, and also TikTok, and I have it here.
The funky groove.
Was it TikTok? That's how it started?
That was it.
I didn't realize you played the 10th in the bass line when you thought of it. I thought of that.
The biggest thing about it is that the beat was like just a straight kind of more boom bappy thing that I ended up playing in the like horn breakdown of the final version where it's like snare on 2 and 4.
Sure.
But Doug and Hav came over and I pulled up that video, and it was like, let's try to play a version of this, and Doug immediately made the bass line yours, and as you always do.
By adding that 10th that wasn't there.
Right.
And Hav coming up with the conga part, and then that gave way to a new drum part that was more in the Tony Allen verse. And yeah. Yeah. So we came up, we like had our own night with this song where we played it down, we kind of created a demo that isn't the version that you just heard, and then kind of had a more classic EMEFE arc to it where we had the demo, we were like, okay, this is a song, I wrote the horn parts and kind of made the arrangement, and then we got as much of a full band as we could in the studio to do takes of this song, and this is one of only a handful of songs in this album that we actually did that. We were all in the room doing takes, and then at the end being like, take one was the thing, or maybe this from this, and that was a great day. And I feel like it was super important that we were able to do that, because this kind of groove, it lends itself so much to like tempo fluctuation based on the
Yeah.
moment, and also because of your soloing, Jake, this song I feel like has some of the most interplay out of any of the songs, and we couldn't have done it just like this without being, together in the room.
Yeah. For sure. Doug's got a little grin on his face when you said my solo.
Because the funniest keyboard phrase on the record is on this song.
Let's go straight to it.
So maybe the funniest in the history of keyboard phrases.
People are saying it's the funniest keyboard. It's so funny. He goes bip 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 bip. It just makes me laugh every time. It's so funny.
Hold on, I'm getting it here.
Energy of this song is humorous to me.
Oh, whoa, wait.
Yeah, come on. Nails the landing,
Do-do-do.
Look, I cut this.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
What happened? What happened?
That wasn't the
That
original
isn't even
phrase
what I
you played.
played.
Really?
Oh,
Let me
wow.
unmute the whole phrase and see what you actually played.
Oh, it was just like a series of 16 tones. Huh?
Oh, sorry, this happens sometimes. Here we go.
Oh, well, that's very different.
Cut it up like that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because the way you cut it sounds like something I would play.
Exactly.
I know you, baby.
There's
I,
also
see, I know the ideas you meant to play.
yeah, exactly.
It's so
Well, that's interesting. Wow.
cool.
The more you know.
So distinct because the whole energy of the song is very like whatever. Like it's also to me it sounds like very like I don't know when we play it live. Sometimes I'm playing the bass phrase and I just don't even play notes at the end of it. I'll go like and it's not even meant to be like so much of a bass moment or fill as me just contributing to the silliness of the song. It's so like slinky.
You kind of there's a moment in the recorded version that you do something like that. Sorry.
That's almost too many like real sounding notes for my taste.
Yeah. But that moment is great because let's see, you're leading into the horn entrance, and so me and you both kind of did that little vibe.
That's really
That's cool.
Which I'm always I love prequeling a thing that's about to happen.
Me too.
The main thing happens, but then you don't realize that you were actually set up to enjoy that happening by this.
Right.
Exactly. You need the momentum. I always find that you and I, as together, we're like an ocean. We play like an ocean, where it starts with like ripples, and then we get the bigger wave. And then when we're really locked in, we create a big wave like that. The wave always is meant to crest into a new section. Not always, but generally speaking. Or if it's during a solo, it's meant to push into like a more elevated section of the solo.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great tempo and groove and feel for interplay.
Yes. And the setting up thing is something that I spent a lot of time working on in the Tony Allen vocabulary, where when I first started playing Afrobeat, if the horns were going to come in, I would do kind of a big brash fill like you would into the chorus of a rock song. And
Mhm.
then the more that I studied the way that he played, he was more humorous or playful in that he would kind of sometimes he would do a big brash fill, but like more often he'll tease something before it happens, or kind of have more of a conductor vibe, where it's like, here's a little thing, oh, beep, up, beep, and then the thing happens. And I feel like you and I are have taken that and run with it.
Because it's always with Tony Allen, at least in my listening experience, it's a few bars or a few beats earlier than you might think that he's kind of starts working on it, working on the transition a lot earlier than you might apparently be able to tell. And then you have to kind of listen back to see how far back the fill, or not even the fill, is sort of that like 2, 3, 4 bar idea expands back. And we
Yeah.
do a lot of this kind of thing. Because this is like we did at the beginning of making the rhythm section track. It's a live, interactive sort of recording.
Yeah.
Totally.
Jake, can you talk about the way that you tracked, like that you physically played this solo? Because the whole solo is played on two different keyboards.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the part, that moment right there is what because when I'm still back on the edit. That edit is funny because I like recognize it as something I played. I was thinking about that moment where I was kind of doing that thing, and I was like, oh, well, that first, whatever that edit thing is, sounds like someone who was in that mode. Anyway, yeah. Well, it was at the studio. Yeah, I mean, well, so it's two different keyboards. One is a univox, which is right behind Miles, but I don't know. Can people see it in your camera?
Oh yeah, it's over here.
It's right there.
I'll
It's
take you
like
there.
old it's like basically whatever analog piano modeler of the I don't actually don't now I'm gonna misspeak. What year is the Univox from?
I don't
Uh
know.
it's from hold on. EP210. This is it. Let's look it up for you know,
The heads,
for the heads.
gear heads.
Yeah.
Univox EP210, 1970. Yeah, so it's basically like in the 70s, all these companies were trying to make different things, and the Univox was basically trying to sound like a piano, which is pretty funny because obviously it doesn't really at all, but it's a little bit more like harpsichordy or whatever. I'm not exactly sure which sound I'm on in that one, but it's like a piano or harpsichord thing. And then the other
Wait,
keyboard,
and that keyboard is made famous in MFA land
oh yeah.
on, do you know
Oh
what
yeah, well,
track?
so yeah, I bought. God, that's another crazy. When did I buy that thing? Uh,
2014?
how did I get it? How did yeah, definitely got it for really cheap from someone like a Craigslist or something. Anyway, yeah, I think I got it shortly before we did the self-titled EMEFE record, and I mean, are you talking about come back to me or
The
the one? Or I mean,
one,
what's the most famous thing
The
of
one. Yeah,
the
yeah.
one? Oh yeah, yeah.
most famous one.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. The one, the solo on the one. That's right. Yeah,
Do,
it's
do, do,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do, do, do.
Well, that's a bunch of whirlies too, but yes. That's like Univox and whirly. But yeah, the one has the Univox solo that opens that album that has a little like Mozarty frills or whatever. I remember that being the thing because it does sound a little bit like a harpsichord.
Mhm.
Um, but regardless, it's just another keyboard that very much is in the vein of what was going on with Afrobeat in the 70s. And I don't know if it's like if he definitely used one because my Farfisa that I have here this one like has a piano setting too that's very similar. I'm sure it's all similar technology to time. Anyway, so yes, so one
So that's
keyboard,
this keyboard.
so one was the univox. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it sounds like. You just got the Echo Boy on there, like a little cassette on it or something.
Yep. A little of
Yeah,
that.
but pretty much that's what it sounds like.
A little of that.
Little tiny warb.
Yeah, that's it.
And then the other keyboard is a Farfisa that I bought from my friend Devin shortly before we made this recording, and it's just a little orange. Can't remember what model it is. It's like a Fast 4 or something. I think it's one of the fast models. And yeah, when we got to the studio, I think it just had this idea of wanting to kind of blend the two sounds, especially for the melody. And then for the solo, I was just like, well, it'd be cool if it's both. But, you know, there's no MIDI in, so I had to do it with both hands. And
Were you improvising a solo and just trying to play the same thing in both hands?
yeah, which, you know, that's not that that's like revolution. I don't want to put on record that I
Well, I'm
think
just
it's
wondering if you went back to
revolutionary.
retrack the other one.
No, 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 no. Wait, weren't you there, Doug, or you weren't there? Were you not there when we did this? I guess
I
you
was
weren't there. I can't remember.
No,
Yeah.
he was there.
He was there. Oh, you're just
Yeah, yeah.
asking for the pod?
I'm asking because I genuinely don't recall
Oh,
anything.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, no, it's just one. It's just one take. I mean, I don't know if there was maybe a couple takes, but one version of me playing two hands at the same time. And the thing about that is like you know, it's kind of hard to do that for a whole solo, but it also but I like to dig into kind of the just the quirkiness and the kind of mistakes that will happen where like all of a sudden, oh, my left hand is not exactly where my right hand is, but rhythmically they're aligned the whole time, and you get some funky stuff that way that I think is cool and exciting and not necessarily what's in my ear in any specific moment. But I'm like, oh, but you listen and you accept what you're hearing as cool and you go from there. And like that
Yeah.
moment right there is cool. I don't even know what's happening. I'm playing together and all of a sudden they split up in a way that I'm not exactly sure.
I think it's a half step.
Oh, that's right. No, that is right. Then yeah, that started happening and then I was like, oh, I should just keep that going because that's it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So
Here's
then
the
I'm like,
Farfisa.
okay, so I'm gonna do this solo as much as I can, like kind of playing a half step apart
That's fun.
in
It's
moments.
almost like you're messing up the whole time.
Yeah. So it's somewhere in this gray area of like
No,
intentionality and letting
I
the
don't mean that in a disparaging way. I think
yeah, yeah,
it's
totally.
Well, what is messing up? It's
What is
exactly
messing up?
that's
Yeah.
like a crazy character to it.
Yeah, it's to me like solos in general, like the biggest thing about a great solo is that it's not doesn't sound like every other great solo.
Mm, mm.
As much as I can just sound like I don't know, like just some natural thing that happened in a moment rather than like some conceived idea of I don't know what you know it's an ocean of possibilities with any solo, and I like to go angular when I can, but also melodic. And I think this one has a bit of both, and
and there's also danger. You like danger.
I like danger. Yeah, that's true. I like to feel a little bit like the best compliment I ever got, I think in my life was at a So Far Sounds when I was playing, like I was just like playing some of my songs, piano and singing, and someone was like, "It sort of sounds like you don't know how to play," and I was like, "Wow, I did it," because obviously I do know how to play, but I think to when you get to a certain level, like to have a little bit of that danger of like, is this person like do they know how to play like at all? Do like they just pick up the instrument to like be able to access that like child that like early stage kind of humor and just excitement around the instrument is what I'm always going for. And yeah, misguided or not, that's what I like.
Here's what the Farfisa sounds like alone, by the way. And then together.
Right, so that's probably yeah. I mean, that's great. That is my favorite part of the solo for sure. This is just so weird. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's also, I mean, I guess yeah, it's all about the rhythm, right? That's really what
Yeah.
the only thing you can like sort of the only thing that our brains can really like um I mean, this is like kind of a weird thing to say because obviously there are musicians out there who are absolutely insane and have spent so much time developing vocabulary of melody and harmony that they really do sort of know exactly what the notes are going to sound like before they play them at all times.
Yeah.
But that is like a crazy level and honestly sounds almost like a could somewhat feel like a prison, I think. Um if you don't also have the ability to like, explore outside of what you think should happen.
Yeah.
Whereas rhythm is just a more fundamental one-to-one. We have a more everyone honestly like sort of everyone has the capacity to quickly develop a connection to rhythm that is somewhat one-to-one of like this is the rhythm I want to do and I make my hands do it. And it can get more and more complicated and you have to practice things. Like if you're literally a non-musician, you need to practice to be able to get your hands to do it. But rhythm is generally a one-to-one thing, and like the rhythms you hear in this recording are generally the things I wanted to do. Or the things I heard and wanted to play with and whatever. And then the notes just or whatever crazy idea I'm having of like, oh, I wonder if this will sound sick. And
Yeah.
then it happens.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah,
there's the one of the if there were to be like a bulletin board with like the five tenets of MFA, or I don't know what they would be, but one of them would probably be unlearning
yeah,
from the beginning. That was like a big thing
yeah,
for all of us,
yeah,
who a lot of us were in jazz school and learning a lot, being told a lot what should and shouldn't happen,
yeah,
and when it comes for me personally, I can't say that it was for you guys, but like Afrobeat was was what opened my doors to unlearning, and that unlearning just meaning like just relating to what you were just saying, Jake, about there are some people who can know what they're doing all the time and execute that. I think the gold standard has always been like you can learn as much as you want, you can have as many tools as you want, but when it comes time to play, that you can set them aside and let things happen.
yeah, exactly.
The
Uh,
keyboard roll. Sorry, Jake, were you about to say something?
well, just kind of to finish the because I'm kind of me. I was just kind of meandering on like a lot of ideas. The most cogent description of like the way that I look at improvisation and soloing in like a song like this is like the lesson that I got from I did get a lesson in jazz school that has stuck with me forever, which is when I was working with Stefan Harris and he was like basically created a whole system around the idea of the notes don't matter, which is like obviously like some notes sound one way, some notes sound another way, but like the methodology is basically like just literally focus on the rhythm you're playing and the phrasing, and then like literally select three notes maybe and do a whole solo just using those three notes. You don't have to know what they sound like. You don't have to know, you don't have to know exactly what's going to happen, but you just already decided those are your notes, and now you're just playing with rhythm and phrasing using those, and it's going to sound great. Like it just will, because no one cares. Like you're the only one who cares about what note you just played is relative to the 11 other notes you could have played, right? Like no one knows what notes you have in your head that you're not playing. All that people feel is whether or not you're playing rhythms and phrases that connect and are interesting and are ultimately connected with what the marriage that's what's happening with the rhythm section and everything else. So like when I approach a song like this, I'm just like, okay, I'm literally just thinking about rhythmic ideas that connect with what the band's doing that can hopefully inspire Miles or whoever drummer I'm playing with in whatever moment to like get involved and play with me, and I just don't think about the notes at all other than like I know what key I'm in, so I know which ones are gonna be, the general idea of what certain notes are gonna sound like.
Yeah.
I think that's more clear, right?
Yeah, it's a great, again, this is one of our guiding philosophies. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's also just it's literally just means play like a drummer because that's what you do, right? You don't think about notes. Right.
We don't
right.
have we have solos and we have keyboard solos, but the role of the solos is not really it's not really primary focus isn't really to feature the instrument that's
Yeah,
playing the solo as the featured thing that's happening. It's more about like, okay, well, think of it as like an animal that can change its head or something. So like its head is now all of a sudden the keyboard, whereas before it was the horn head or
yeah, yeah,
thing that's
yeah,
happening at the focus. But the way that we play, I don't even sometimes when they're in our past recordings and I just hear you playing and improvising stuff, maybe Miles conceived it the arrangement layout wise as a keyboard solo, but to me it's like, okay, Jake is grooving and I'm grooving and the guitars are grooving and the drums are grooving and Hav is grooving and it's all happening at once and Jake is just playing some stuff that's helping with that, that's contributing, that's building that, supporting that. It's not like, okay, let's all listen to Jake like as
yeah,
a
exactly.
goal. Like
Yeah,
here, it's really a sublime difference because we're really all in that same headspace. And even in a solo like say Good Future, I would say that's a more of like a strictly like we are featuring the keyboard in this moment. But everybody that's playing that eventually comes in later as the solo progresses, we all have this goal in mind of getting from this moment all together to the next moment. And I think that's just your approach with that is really great. And it also feeds into the like note free thought process. It works really well together.
yeah. I mean, definitely, and bringing a good future like that is a different era of me deeply, and like that solo is more of like me. That is like from an era where it was more like, well, I'm gonna take a solo now, and I'm gonna pick the right notes and play the right rhythms,
But it
and
never, as somebody
but
who played with you, it never bears out like you're
yeah,
trying to do something that's beyond what the music is giving,
yeah.
in a self-centered or show-offy sort of.
Sure. Well, because I still wanted to listen back then, and Miles, and there's like great interplay with Miles and I on that recording too. And but yeah, I mean, and just the last thing I wanted to say about the keyboard, just because Doug, like, totally, that's totally right, and all interesting, and like another level is like the keyboard or piano, whatever. It is also a different animal in terms of like how many possibilities I have as an improviser. Like, a horn player can do all of what you just said, but they really are kind of limited to like, they have one voice they can use at a time. And another lesson I learned from the same guy was this idea of like the piano or the keyboard role in the band acting like or has access to like basically being like the captain of the ship. And it's like you have this way of like you're not the engine, like the band is the engine. You can't like, you can't
Mhm.
do whatever you want at any moment the way like Miles can just cut out and like that's the engines just stop like boom. And in an Afrobeat the guitars are included in that, right? But it's like if the drums cut out, it's like it's done, like the ship's no longer moving. But as like a keyboard player, you can like play with, sure, you can do these solo and these lines and all these things that like grab someone's attention in a direct way, but you can also like dig into like chords and like lower and funky stuff and kind of like move the band along in this way that everybody's like, oh, we're doing this now. Okay, okay. And I'm not sure if this solo has any of that in it, but that was certainly something later in MFA life that I thought about a lot more. I mean, kind of Miles,
Mhm.
also, you showed me, I think Miles, you intrinsically understood that about the keyboard and a lot of the great stuff that we've done over the years with like cool, like pad stuff with all our different keyboards building solos up, and you're just like stuff you don't even really notice, but there is like a captain behind that's like, "S- sound the alarms, like
Yeah.
raise the sails," and it's like that kind of stuff going on where like if you're just there on the ship you're not really noticing, but you're like, oh wait, all this stuff is bubbling up right now, whoa, okay, cool. And yeah, so that's the other level of keyboardum.
Yeah.
Keyboardum.
Keyboardum.
The Jake Pinto story.
Is our episode name.
Keyboardum.
That's a podcast.
That's good, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe.
And with the two keyboard combo here, I feel like the other unique thing about keyboards is that there's a note, every key is a note. And with a saxophone or with horns, they can they can manipulate those notes and go in between, and
Yeah.
even though they can only play one note at a time or whatever. But with this two keyboard setup, or approach rather, I feel like and you could also use pedals for this and things, but
Yeah, yeah.
like going between the notes and getting outside of this sort of finite set of keys in front of you.
Yeah, it lets me do that. It
Yeah.
stimulate that at least.
I kind of want to just play this last little stretch, because this
Yeah.
is sort of a part where you go from playing together and then the two hands seem to sort
Okay.
of go
Yeah.
off on their own
Yeah, let's
journey.
hear it. Oh. Okay, can we get some context?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, nice. Wait, play a little bit earlier though. What was that? A
Sure.
birds thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's that happening? Oh, oh, yeah, yeah,
I would say that's
yeah.
even a
That's
little
sick.
micro example right here where you and I are playing with each other here.
Yeah,
You're hearing me kind of start to, you know, rev up, and also kind of getting a little bit more free and outside of the time, and then you kind of glom onto that, and then we both land
yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the solo too is me playing with like what's gonna like I'm definitely thinking about that.
Hmm.
And I do more of it as we get to this section. It's a sort of like call and response thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Great. I like that little that line there is cool.
Yeah.
There's that whole idea of like the tension you create, like in that the not funky passage, the passage right before
Mm-hmm.
the middle bit right there, where it's like you're hanging on a note, and it's like we're on the note, we're on the note, we're on the note, we're on the note. It's like, are we gonna go to the next note? We're going to the next note. We're going to the next note. We're going to the next note. And it's like, are we gonna go to the next? No, we're not gonna go to the next. We're gonna go down, and then we're gonna go decka 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 ba.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that's it's just fundamentals of like tension, release. Yeah.
Keyboardum.
Keyboardum.
The endless world of
Are
keyboard.
any of you guys keyboard or what?
Let's keep going.
There's some speaking of keyboardum, I added some mellotron into the horn melody to add
Maybe we should just
more
listen to
depth.
all the. Maybe we should just listen to all the parts you cut out, huh?
Oh God, now you're seeing it.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm down. I don't care, but
This is the mellotron.
is this
thing,
like
so-
this is like people discovering that it's all fake. It's all a lie.
Yeah, I had AI go in here and just kind of trim the fat.
Snip out, yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Great.
so in context with the rest of the horns, it is like this. So just like adding, when you listen to it, you're like the horns are playing right now, but it just adds to the character of it, that those little pings, and I think the mellotrons also add to the humor of this track in general. But
Totally.
yeah, that's the and then one last keyboardum point is the flutes, the MIDI flutes in the bridge that we heard at the beginning of the pod. And then Domenica Fossati doubled it with real flutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love those flutes.
Really cool.
Gives me the chills every time.
Cinematic, if you will.
Yeah.
Cinematic. It's such a crazy section. It feels so different from the other section. It's one of those experiences of going from studio to live that really threw me for a loop. I didn't really get how to play that. Like, because you can teach me a riff in a moment and I'll get it enough to record it. But then when it comes to live execution, it's like now this has to be internalized in a long-term sustainable way.
Yeah.
Just catching the opening accent to get on board the train that is that section is very tricky. And then I'm always looking for context clues as to where the bass line of the A section starts to back up, because I can't really feel that transition in terms of just normal counting. I have to kind of remember the way that moment feels. I can't count it when I get out of this section. It's such a unique, and it just also, it's like all of a sudden we go from this kind of mellow, stonery groove to it's, I don't know, like a ship flying through the sky, or something really intense feeling in the section. So it's just stark, and it all comes from that rhythm, that rhythmic placement.
Yes. Let me play that transition. By the way, a quick shout out to this slap sound. That
Power
was
slap.
very important to me in
Power.
this song. When we were mixing, I was like, turn up the slap.
Pretty slappy section.
Yeah, this is one of those sections that it's like I had it in my mind, and then when we actually came to track it, it's like it took some. It's like you need to digest it or something, because the my idea of it was I want it to feel like it's a double time section. I want to be doing a like party kick thing. But everything else is sort of indicating that it's still halftime, and I don't, to this day, I don't really know what it exactly feels like. But and then at the very end, when we return to this section, it's full on double time, which is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first bridge is one of those times that I feel like I had fun compositionally with, like throwing you off, you know, the collective you, the listener, and then also consequently the band themselves. And yeah, I don't know. There's people, it seems to be a bit of a problem for some people as far as how you actually count this section. And I'm like, just the count stays the same. Just don't stop counting. But
it has to be learned. This to me had to be learned muscle memory wise, not counting wise.
Because it's
Muscle
it's
feel.
da, da is one, like the B to E is on one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right?
no, that's not it.
Nobody knows except for mine.
The problem, the like big problem, the trick of it, which is something that's happened in MFA songs before, is that when you first hear that riff, the band drops out and comes in on one of the random beats in the riff. So it makes you suddenly think that the band dropped out and then came back in strong. So where they come back in strong must be the new one. But in reality, the riff is just the riff. It starts on the one. So it's like 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the band comes in on 3.
4. Da, 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 4. 1, da, 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 da.
See, the nature of the way you just did it, those claps, all like it goes from sounding like 1 to those claps sounding like they're like 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're swinging.
That's what I do on the drums in the second half. 1, 2, 4.
What the hell?
It doesn't work. You can't hold on. You can't count while the track's going because we have different layers.
Sorry.
So that doesn't mean anything to us. I was like, wait, what? No, that can't be right. But yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand it. I too, if I needed to know this, it would be difficult.
Yeah. Well, there's also the thing. A thing that's happening is that Giancarlo on shekere is switching from downbeats to upbeats, so that never helps with counting because that can kind of turn your whole world upside down. Where he's going like.
Oh,
now he's on the upbeats.
Yeah, that's super fucked up.
And then Matiana Morales is on the percussion. She's also doing some.
Oh, well, that's unhinged. I mean, that's ridiculous. Is that how I sang it? I think that's how I sang it. What I was.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe.
I think that's where I put. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, obviously, we're all hearing the downbeats where the shekere is. Because why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Wait,
Exactly.
you should move it. You should move it right now. You should move it right now. We see what it sounds like.
Replace the file. Oh,
No,
move it
no,
right
literally
now.
just move the shekere to the left.
Watch the whole session just explodes. Let's see.
No, it's like you do this and then we go on Spotify and it's been changed. Like, what?
So move it to the left.
Move it to the actual downbeat. Yeah. Where it should have been.
It should have been the whole damn time.
Yeah, the whole damn time.
Sounds like the upbeat to me.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. Well,
Now the
play it-
shekeres are on the downbeats.
Wait, no, I know, but play it from before. Play it from.
No
Like-
wonder I always never know when the next one.
Yeah, it's great.
Because I thought the upbeat was the downbeat.
2, 3, 4. 1.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
that's
thing,
crazy.
guys. When we play the section at the end of the song, it's all good, right? Like at this point.
Yeah. You know what, Miles? It is all good.
But there's no like here.
What do you mean? No, it's not all good. Not all good. Not all good for me.
There's still confusion there.
It's not about confusion. I'm not confused anymore, but I feel the shekere I just assumed is the downbeat. If no one tells me the shekere is not the downbeat, why would I think it's not the downbeat?
I haven't been this turned
Jake,
around.
You're so
since-
right. I'm so sorry.
No, but like actually, if you think about it, it does make sense. If like
Yeah, no, I know.
for
yeah, yeah.
me, I have no reason to not think, oh, I don't know, we dropped a beat, I guess, and now this is the downbeat. You know what I mean?
Turned around since Europe.
Technically, there really is no correct answer. There's just better ways of thinking about it. There's how you wrote it, but
Yeah.
like I could also just be like, I think they must have added a beat because that shekere is now there, and that's where the downbeat is. So I'm sure that's a downbeat.
Well, that's kind of where we've landed as a band playing this song, is that we haven't gotten into it this much. Like we have never talked about it really. It's just like same thing with like any like Fela's songs where you're like, where's like, you find out that your one is in a different place than somebody else, and
yeah,
you try
exactly.
for maybe 2 minutes to iron that out, and then you quickly find, you know what? Let's just never talk about it again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it ultimately doesn't matter. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good. If you feel like the misunderstanding is causing people to play in a way that is not the vibe, then that's when you have to address it. But otherwise, it's like
Yeah.
time's a flat circle, dude. Like, we all know that.
But like, just like at the end here, I give a very clear count off of like 1, 2, ba 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 ticka doo doo ba da da da. So to me,
Yeah,
there.
then you add a beat, and it's all good.
Oh. By the way, Matiana.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm hearing it right now. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
I'm not hearing it. I never will, and that's okay.
that's okay, man.
I'll never unhear what I
Well,
heard.
you're not hearing it right because you're hearing your bass line. But if you like mute your bass, you'll hear it, right? You know what I mean?
I don't
Hey,
know.
you just said there's no right or wrong.
Well, whatever. You'll hear it the miles way,
There you go.
miles version.
There's no right or wrong. There's just the miles way.
Yeah.
Another core principle of EMEFE.
Secrets revealed. I want to just, while we're here, I gotta just give the horn section their props, because The trombone, like the shit they're playing, is very hard to do. Specifically, like trombone playing that high is and add in the tenor and then the rest. Good stuff.
You think they know where the one is?
Well, that's always the interesting thing about with the horns. They're reading a chart. So,
Oh, yeah.
but this was an issue that we had to iron out when we first started playing this song because anytime this section comes, you can kind of see the horn players like, you know, they're counting the rests like with their mouths because they have to like train themselves. Like this is where it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you ask Jazz, he's brought this up before that he gave me shit for this section because he was like, "Why are you doing that, man?"
With the shekere, you mean?
Not the shekere, just like the count of it. He was like, "I will never know what." Kind of what Doug just expressed.
Yeah. It is crazy. Great stuff.
Good stuff. I have to kind of dip a little bit soon. We're going to do some family photos today.
Cool.
Oh,
Well,
yeah? Where are
I
you doing
don't
that?
Where?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's like a nice photo studio in my neighborhood that Mary wants to take everybody to.
You're gonna go do the thing? Is there gonna be like a cloud in the background?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those. No, exactly, it is. It's going to be like a cloud and or like what the '80s like diamonds. Yeah, I hope we get some stuff like that.
Nice.
can we like when this comes out, if you have the photos ready, can we just drop it in?
Yeah, I think it would be good. I think
Just drop it in right here.
Yeah.
Photos.
Can we zoom in super close on your face?
I don't. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Possible. No, it's not important.
Maybe we should all go take photos so we can have them all
Yes,
back to back.
person, family plus you too.
Yeah.
Photo shoot.
Splice us in.
I don't feel like there's much else here. Like I have video from when we recorded this, and we'll drop some of that in there just so you can see the vibe in the room. But this song was a triumph. It was a triumph for an album that came together in many different processes and over really a few years. Like this song really could have easily not worked, but it's just our relationship that we were able to come show up for that session. Jake, I feel like you flew in that morning. Like I remember you had a real vibe that day. Not negative, just like truly straight
Yeah.
off the plane or
Right.
On my
something.
own tired.
I don't remember at all.
Okay.
But I think I might have gotten off tour.
Every
Right.
session with Jake kind of in New York kind of has that. Kind of has he's fresh off a plane or a bus or
That's
somewhere.
true.
He got his apartment 2 hours ago, shower, and now he's here.
I think that I recorded this. I think I probably had just gotten off tour or something, and I was like, arrived in New York. I don't know. I really don't remember. Or I was in the middle of tour. Is that possible?
You were
Is that what
swinging.
you're thinking?
Maybe.
Do you have
Yeah.
a date? You have
It was
any-
January 2023
Oh, yeah. I was on tour. That's what you're thinking of.
or 4, I forget.
Yeah.
Um,
I recorded this. I was on tour with Magic City Hippies. We had done the first week and a half. I took a bus I think, from Washington D.C. to New York to record this. I think
That was what it was.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah, I had just gotten off a bus. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the fact that we were able to just conjure this up, given where all of us were in that moment, like I feel like this is one of those that like we the years of experience that we've had together filled in a lot of the gaps of like this is what this
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is how this goes,
Totally.
and that's priceless, man.
Totally agree.
Chemistry.
Totally agree.
They call it chemistry. Well, to go out, I'm gonna just solo this this horn break. What is it? Is it this?
That's the real. That's where the good is, right there.
Oh yeah, and we got this track labeled 80% bullshit and also 40% bullshit,
What's that about?
which is jazz doing this.
I still can't see the session, but I can hear it.
Okay. So in the context. And also the shekere from GC.
Oh. Iconic.
Proud of this one.
The DOS.
Love you both.
Love you guys.
And one more episode after this. Afterward.
We made it.
Afterward. After the word is gone.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.
Bruce.